what came on the official page of His Excellency the President. The NEA reaffirms and confirms that it is very aware of everything that happened during the electoral process, and because the authority doesn't have anything to hide, and because we cannot conceal any violations or violator, the Council of the NEA, with all its members, and with they are judges that only want God's mercy and the people's interest. They are still investigating the appeals and complaints that the authority has received through candidates, voters, or monitors, and we will be taking the lawful decision, even if this leads to cancelling the elections altogether or in some districts. I want you to rest assured we won't have any candidate, no candidate will be here unless the voters want long live Egypt, and may God protect Egypt and its people, and thank you. We will listen to your questions. Please be organized. I've never seen anyone saying from the NEA that there are laws against the members, and I won in 2015, and the elections need to be rerun. You have filed a complaint, yes? Thank you. And I'm calling for our right. We have received a number of complaints since yesterday, and that number is 88 actually, and we don't have any frame or any timeline for the complaints. We are receiving complaints as long as we haven't announced the results, which will be tomorrow. Go ahead. Well, we have the results tomorrow according to the timeline, and then there were some districts. Can I mention some names where the violations happened? Yeah, sure, go ahead. In Fayoum, one of the candidates had a number of votes that was higher than the number of the actual voters. How will you deal with this? Is this an error, or do we suspect something here? And then in the same district also, the polling stations actually I want you to be sure that any measures that we will be taking, or any laws that were violations, then the whole district will be cancelled, and this is all under investigation still. Go ahead. I saw President El-Sisi's statement affirming full transparency and respecting the Egyptian administration of the NEA. So we have full trust here from the Egyptian people and from all the monitors and officials in Egypt and outside. We trust the NEA. But my question here to you and to the authority is, as you said, you have around 88 complaints. I want to know, is this number, does this number include all the districts or specific ones? Thank you. Yeah, the authority has received the complaints that have been filed by the directors of the polling stations, and these complaints weren't in all governorates or in all districts, but in some districts, and there were complaints in all districts in specific governorates, but the majority was in districts and not in governorates. Go ahead. The the president's statement actually alarmed us. Is the president supposed to monitor and handle everything that's going on in the country? Have we didn't announce any results, and we will be announcing it according to the timeline. I want. I heard you now. Please heard me. I want to reassure you here, those who are saying that there are that the numbers don't add up. We are still investigating this. All your concerns will be investigated, and we'll be looking into the complaints, and we will have the results tomorrow in the official announcement. Tomorrow we will have the conference to release the results. According to what the correspondent here said, you said that there is a possibility of a full cancellation or a partial one. And here the president said that he has received the incidents. Does this show that there actually were incidents in the electoral process and the standards that the NEA has, according to? I said that the complaints that we have received from the candidates, or we received complaints from voters and candidates, and of course you know that when we had that the director of a sub-polling station, and he actually counted the votes before the timeline, general the general polling station actually cancelled the vote altogether, and so any incidents that happened are under thorough investigation. All the staff are working to look into all the complaints, and we will see the results of this tomorrow. Are there any changes with the timeline announcing the results tomorrow? According to the timeline, the NEA is still working on all the measures that were announced on the 4th of October, and we are following the timeline, and actually according to what the authority sees fit, we will take the lawful measures according to what will be announced tomorrow. So we're going according to the timeline. Tomorrow we will know the results of the complaints when we announce after the vote count. Of course, all the violations that have happened have been all taken into consideration, and we'll be talking about them tomorrow. In fourth district, there were some violations that we've seen on social media. And so does the NEA follow what's happening on social media? Yeah, Alexandria. We actually received two complaints from Alexandria. So and yes, I know you're talking about Fayoum, but yeah, we had a live stream where a candidate entered the polling station, and there was a huge turnout in front of this uh, polling station, and people were saying, the voters were saying, they've been here for 3 or 4 hours and they cannot go and vote. And so does the NEA take into consideration the complaints that were published on social media? Yeah, of course, we take into consideration everything that was posted on social media. We aren't living under a rock. We are very aware of what's happening, and all of these violations were actually recorded as well, and we are taking them into consideration, and we'll announce them tomorrow. Anything else? Yeah. What are the measures that the NEA can take to overcome these violations? The authority is announcing the results tomorrow. And so the question here is, why did we wait? Actually, we had we were investigating, and we will have the results tomorrow. And also, as you know, the NEA is independent and has a full authority over the electoral process, and can cancel elections and cancel some districts. Some candidates wanted to file some complaints, and the requests were refused. We are in 2025. Why can't why I you said that the candidate couldn't file their complaints, and also all we are calling for a rerun for these elections here on behalf of all the reporters and journalists. There were people that couldn't file their complaints, so will you be looking into the complaints that were handed over, or what? How will they get there? No, we need to announce the final results first, and then see if the candidates will be filing the complaints. We want the results to be postponed to look into the complaints. We're investigating them already. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. This is the first time I wasn't allowed to enter individually, and I had the highest number of votes. And how will I know if it weren't for the vote tally sheets? When we announce the results, all these questions will be figured out. You'll have the answers to your questions, and any violation that happened in any polling station, even if it is a sub polling station, the whole district will be cancelled. what we've seen on social media shows that there were
طب
violations.
انت حضرتك عرفت ايه الاجراء اللي هيتخذ قدام
Did you know
الحاجات
what
دي؟
measures will be
طيب انا
taking?
هعلن النتائج
I
يمكن اعلن النتيجه الغي.
I cannot release this before the final vote count or the final results. Can you please listen to me? Can you please listen?
باشا باشا
You've asked more than one question. I just want to answer your questions. You
تمام.
have just give me a second. Here you talked about the candidates not being able to file complaints, and we have the, can can you please listen? People need to understand that the lawful measure, the law says that the director of the general polling station is the one who receives the complaints, and then they file it to the NEA. And so this is what the law says, and we need to be aware of this, and so everyone can understand what's going on here. We are all making sure to give the rights where they are due. We are judges after all, and we will not allow any unfairness to anyone. And so yes, you don't need to be worried, and the authority is taking the measures according to the law. And so I want to assure everyone, and yes, we will have the results after we are done with the investigation, and we'll be talking about them tomorrow when we announce the final results. Districts like Nagah Ahmadi, I want to name people here like Fathaddin. He has a huge number of supporters, but then he got a less than expected number of votes, and he was
انا بس عشان
surprised by
الكلمه
this.
اللي حضرتك بتقولها دي
Just because of
الاجراء
what you're
المعتاد
saying,
قبل ما بعلن
the
النتيجه او اعلن الاصوات الهيئه
what
نفسها
happens before
بتراجع
any
المحاضر بتاعه اللجنه الفرعيه
official
ولازم
results.
تطبقها مع
We
اللجنه العامه.
go back over the complaints and we make sure that they match
لا طبعا
the
لا طبعا النتيجه
general.
النهائيه طبعا.
Up till now,
لا طبعا
no one knows if
طبعا.
they will be having a
في نتيجة
rerun or
نهائية
if
إن
they
شاء
won
الله.
or anything. Yeah, no, they don't. They'll know after the final results are announced. The complaints that were we actually had hope when we saw President El-Sisi's statement. The complaints and the appeals have
كل التفاعلات اللي صاحبة
time
العملية
frame
الانتخابية مش لازم
that they have an
بتظلم.
expiry
كل
date.
ده
All
مصدر وهيصدر فيه
any
قرار رسمي
violations
إن
or
شاء الله.
complaints, we have received them even if they weren't formally.
ده تم رصده.
Will
كله
those
تم
who
رصده.
will those candidates who violated the
بكرة تعرف إن
campaigning
شاء الله.
rules, will they be held accountable? We'll know tomorrow. There was a candidate that she actually left and wrote on her social media that there is no transparency or integrity. We don't take this into consideration, and she can just step down at any given time. It needs to be accepted there, and so social media isn't something to take after. So
أنا ما بتكلمش على
I'm
المخالفات، أنا
not
بتكلم
talking
على واقعة
about the
التنازل.
violations. I'm talking about the withdrawal
طب هناخد آخر سؤال
from
بقى، آخر سؤال.
here the
احنا هناخد آخر سؤال.
last question.
اتفضل. اتفضل.
here, well, I want to say something
اتفضل.
that's very important. And now there are some breaking news, and I want to make it clear any violation that was investigated by the NEE and it was proved that it violates the law in a sub polling stations, all the district will be
اتفضل.
cancelled. Yes. If we have a rerun, will this be the first time? Um, After investigating all the appeals and complaints, law has said we will accept the appeals and we will have a rerun in these districts. So yes, we will have a rerun, as I said, in these districts, and we will have a timeline to have this rerun according to our timeline, maybe after we finish our initial timeline or during it. And so yes, we have here some laws that we follow. As I said, we will have a rerun in the districts that
أشكركم يا
had
جماعة. شكرا.
major violations
شكرا
that
جزيلا.
affected the electoral process. Thank you so much.